being here on a Sunday. Just want to take this opportunity to make a few comments, and then we'll be open to some questions. I would like to thank our friends from the RCMP being here today also to answer any questions, and we'll go from there. The Edmonton Police Service, in conjunction with the RCMP and other policing agencies and federal authorities, are investigating the report of the Al-Shabaab video, which encourages action to be taken against shopping malls around the world, including West Edmonton Mall. At this time, we have determined there's no imminent threat to Edmonton, Canada, or its citizens. The safety and security of the public is absolutely paramount to this police service, to the RCMP, and to all policing agencies at the municipal, provincial, and federal level in support of public safety across this community, across this country. The Edmonton Police Service takes very seriously any threats to our community. Although West Edmonton Mall was identified in the video, the EPS has shared information and is working closely with the mall, with the security detail, with other malls in this community, and also with our community partners. We value the community outreach. It's an important part of what we do in policing in this community. And in working closely with this community, we've ensured good communication and listening to what is happening across this city. The EPS, as a law enforcement agency, will continue to work very closely with its partners, with the RCMP, with the community, to deal with any like threats that may happen within our community. At this time, I'll open up to a few questions. Just ask that you take it one at a time, and Marlon Grant will also be here with the RCMP to answer questions.
When you say community, do you mean the Somali community or do you mean West Edmonton Mall?
I mean West Edmonton Mall, I mean the Somalian community, I mean the Muslim community, and I mean the community as a whole. I have to amplify something here. Our best opportunity to deal with like-type threats is to involve our community. We put a lot of emphasis on that because, quite frankly, that's where our best information and our best opportunity to deal with any threats within this community come from, is that information share, that communication, the ability to listen and talk. We know it works, we've seen it in action, and we support that process as the most effective investigative tool we have as a policing agency, not just in the RCMP world, but also in the other municipal police forces and federal agencies.
Should we expect heightened security measures?
Right now, this was a very general comment. It wasn't specific. We do not have an identified specific threat. Having said that, because of the very nature of the threat, we as a policing agency and the other policing agencies are absolutely paying attention to this, and we will be putting in place processes to address what we see out there. But I have to emphasize, I feel West Edmonton Mall is very safe. I also feel this community is very safe based on the nature of the threat we received, which was general, not specific.
Can you give specifics of what types of heightened security measures?
I can just know that we've re-examined our protocols relative to dealing with malls, not just West Edmonton, all malls, and also our communication processes with the various elements in the community.
Have you been in touch with other malls? Are there things that we suggest to malls to do to more people?
You know, it's not just the malls. The community as a whole can participate, and that's where the empowerment comes. We have the ability of the community to control a lot of this by, if we see something suspicious, report it to your local police of jurisdiction, report it through Crime Stoppers, report it to the RCMP. And that's our best defense, best process to deal with this issue.
Has the video been authenticated yet?
Well, the fact that it exists shows that the information is out there. The actual source, I don't have the information to comment on.
What do you mean by looking for suspicious activity? What should people be watching for?
We go about our lives every day. We have our normal processes. When something steps outside that norm, ask some questions, see whether or not it's something that needs to come to police attention. The other piece is around radicalization of individuals. If we see that change in personality that demonstrates that this individual is demonstrating radicalized behavior, then please bring it to the attention of local authorities, and that's our best opportunity to intervene in a positive way to deal with this individual and ideally put it to a better place.
The video mentioned Jewish targets. Is there any concern for those in Edmonton?
There's concern for the whole Edmonton community. I don't want to make it exclusive to one community or not. As a policing agency, this touches all tentacles of the community, so we have that sensitivity as a whole.
Have you also been meeting with Jewish leaders about this?
We're not specifically with Jewish leaders, but within the community, yes, there's been conversations, and there's also been conversations with the other community pieces.
Some of the experts we spoke to say this is a group crying for attention. how would you qualify this?
Well, I can't speak to who the expert was or what they said, but obviously it is a cry for attention. But as you can see, the power of social media, either an individual or a group can put something out, and you see the result here today. And I think that's very important as citizens of Edmonton, as a Canadian community. We need to do our normal day-to-day business. That's how we effectively deal with this. We don't give them more power than they deserve, and quite frankly, they don't deserve any power because they are terrorists and they are trying to create terror. Our best opportunity to nullify that is by having good communication, normalizing our day-to-day functions, and when we see something suspicious, notifying local authorities.
Chief Connect has said previously this year that DPS is engaged in a number of national security investigations, that they're watching people who they think might be radicalized with varying levels of surveillance. After a threat like this publicly, do you step up those investigations?
You know what, I'll let Marlon Durand, Assistant Commissioner with the RCMP, answer that question. But the quick answer is we are involved through the RCMP through INSET, and let him speak to that.
Thank you, Deputy. Candidly, we have a number of investigations ongoing in Alberta and across the country. We work very closely with not only the Edmonton Police Service, but the Calgary Police Service, one of our other major INSET partners, as well as partners across the country. After something like this, clearly when a threat like this is pervade in a broad way like this, we do obviously take that threat quite seriously, as the deputies expressed, and we will be looking for any kind of changes in behavior, any of those kind of signs and indicators that there might be some kind of a concern for us to be looking at. But candidly, our investigations have been ongoing, and they will continue to be ongoing, and along the things that we're involved in right now, as well as any other information that might surface through any source that might come to us, whether it be technical, whether it be human, or whether it be from our community.
Have any of the individuals or groups of individuals that you're watching here in Alberta, have your investigations led you to believe that they have any connection or are being radicalized by the group that made the threat today?
By Al-Shabaab, I believe, is who this is subscribed to. No. But I will tell you that we're open to any possibilities, and we would examine any possibilities, but we have got absolutely no specific threats right now around West Edmonton Mall or any other mall or areas right now, or any other attack plans in Alberta. I should reinforce as well one last thing about the insets. The insets are the mechanism by which we, myself, the deputy down in Calgary, as well as the municipal police forces and our partners across this country communicate. If there's any kind of a threat or any kind of chatter or any kind of a subject of concern that it surfaces anywhere in Canada or internationally with our international partners, law enforcement communicates intimately and quickly in making sure that we make each other aware of that threat and bring the proper investigative and reactive resources to bear on those kind of things. Very actually pleased with the level of cooperation we have with our communities, with our law enforcement partners and our security partners in industry around this area. And that mechanism serves Canada well.
I'm just wondering if you could elaborate on the nature of the conversation that you're having with the community.
Well, first and foremost, with any community, it's about building that relationship. It's about having the trust and having the conversations. And when we see an issue of concern that we feel may impact a specific community, we reach out with that information. And the same way, if the community sees something they feel may impact, they reach out to the police service. It's working very well. It takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time, but we value those relationships because we work for the community, and it's through that community process we have the best opportunity for success. And it does work. We've always seen the results of that. I won't get into specifics, but it does work. Just a couple more questions.
Is West Edmonton Mall a difficult, I don't want to say target, but a difficult location to secure and police? There's 60 odd doors in it. I get lost in it, I know. I mean, do your officers train there for situations like this?
We have a very good working relationship with West Edmonton Mall and their security processes. I would dare say they have one of the best systems I've seen. And it's an ongoing process. It's adapting to the changing environment, and that's why we have these communications. But no, train there, involved with West Edmonton very closely, and it is a very robust process.
Are you more concerned about a lone person acting or a large coordinated attack? What's the logistics? What's the thought process here?
The answer is yes to both, and that's where the intelligence piece is very important in terms of dealing with potential threats. But that's, once again, particularly with the lone wolf, is where the community can definitely provide us with a lot of support and help by identifying that behavior of radicalization, that's our best and quickest opportunity to intervene and put it to the right place. Okay, well, thank you very much for being here today.